Now we're good? Okay. Yep. All right, so we're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to
morning.
I checked the time as you said that.
We usually record that.
I forget. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Guy Some Guy podcast. My name is Carlos, alongside with
Rob
and
Omar.
And we're just a bunch of tech guys where we talk tech news, pop culture with random rants in between. Today's actually a kind of a mixed bag. We're going to be doing a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of tech, and whatever random this political election-y stuff might also get thrown in the mix.
Are you guys officially tech guys now?
I don't know. I kind of went in with it.
Well,
Well, look, tech, wasn't it always tech guys?
Oh.
It was always tech guy? That always confused me.
Oh,
tech guy?
tech guy, smart buy.
Yeah, tech guy or tech guys?
It was tech guys.
smart guy.
Well, it's back to tech guys. I
There's
guess.
two S's.
It's back to tech guys because he knows more about tech stuff than anything. I'm just a
Two
weird guy in
S's
the middle.
cancel each other out.
Just yeah.
Yeah, see, RJ agrees with us.
RJ agrees with us. Yeah, so so I know today is gonna be a little bit of a mixed bag. So I don't know what you have on the list. Actually, I do know what you have on the list. What am I talking about? Yo, I am beat and
Let's start with the
destroyed
most
and I'm on
important
drugs.
thing.
Remember
Let's
that.
start with the number one thing right now.
Which one?
You gotta go
How The Simpsons predicted Disney was gonna buy
Simpsons
Fox.
predicted.
Dude,
Simpsons predicted everything.
yeah. The funny part about The Simpsons though is like everyone's like, oh my god, they're psychics. I'm like, no, they have so many episodes. They just had to keep on coming up with random stuff, and the random stuff
just
coincided.
happened to be right.
Yeah,
Wow.
even though
that's way too much of a
yeah,
good
wait,
average.
no. The Trump one is the scariest one. The one where he's going down the escalator with the people lined up, and it was almost exactly like set up exactly how they
That's
drew it. I was like,
scary.
that one was creepy.
No, there's another one with a photo of him and a bunch of other people in around. Like,
Oh yeah,
Really?
the Prince of
Photo.
Saudi or the
Yeah.
King of Saudi with the oil
Really?
thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
same.
my god.
You know what's even scarier though?
What?
Like, I mean, not really scary. What they should do is that they should, in the new Simpsons show or episodes, they should reference how they got things right, just to bring it up.
Oh, just make it
I'm
so,
pretty
like
sure they
make it
do.
meta. As
See, I haven't
fuck.
seen
Yeah.
the show in like 2 years, so I don't know how.
You know-
I haven't heard that's good things, but you know.
No,
You
but
haven't
see-
heard good things?
Nah, I heard. I mean, the show looks nice, but like it's kind of like drawing out now. It's like
Well, think about it.
Well,
Like
that's-
The Simpsons has been going on literally for 27 years, almost our entire lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that they ran out of ideas years ago. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
So it's like, listen, man, how you've been keeping these children 10 for 30 years.
You know what?
You guys are evil.
It almost feels
Well,
like
they do
next
future
season they should just jump forward to like 2017, but with like, Bart in high school and like Maggie
That would
actually
be cool.
walking and talking.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
It'd be
like
funny.
it's-
I wonder if they'll actually do it.
It'll give you a new premise, but I don't think they ever will. I think they're going to try to milk it as long as possible, just because they already got the top spot as the longest running show.
They've been got that.
But you know what's funny though? If Fox does buy, or if Disney does buy 20th Century
Back
Fox.
to the actual topic.
Wait, hold on. What a segue. What's
Wait, hold on.
That was the original topic.
So what I'm trying to say is, if Disney does buy Fox, 20th Century Fox,
Disney's
they
the
can
show.
actually name Simpsons 2099.
You're stupid.
No, why not? I mean, just like the comic books.
They really could.
Because it's a Marvel
Yeah,
thing, and they own Marvel Studios. So
You know
it's
what's
like,
what's funny? If Disney buys Fox, right, which is in the talks right now, which I think it got.
looks good. It's looking good, I guess.
Last I heard, talks were halted,
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's dead in the water. Yeah.
but kind of like on pause to regroup, like probably renegotiate some things. So it's gonna happen. Question is, will it happen?
Remember, well, like I said, it's gonna
I
cost. It's
think-
gonna cost them
I
some
think Disney
money,
will kill
though.
it.
It's gonna cost them some money because definitely 20th Century Fox is probably the only part of News Corp right now that successfully or to somewhat at least breaking even
Right.
and making money. Because if you guys don't know, the portion of the British network that Fox News owns, they just had their Fox News show canceled by the British regulations because they believe some of the shows on Fox are not journalistically true.
Yeah,
They're opinionated.
I think they announced it yesterday.
So I mean that's obvious to us,
But-
and obvious to the Brits, not to half of the other America.
Yeah,
But the deal would not include
yes.
the news.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that for them to give up the only thing that is being accepted and not
Oh.
rejected,
Oh, okay, yeah.
they're gonna have to ask for a lot of money. And then at the point, is Disney's gonna be like, you know what, we're gonna let your stocks drop even more before we just buy
You know
it cheaper.
you know what I think? If Disney actually does buy Fox, I think Simpsons is dead.
You think so?
Yeah, only reason being because this is the way if you really think about it, the way Disney has been doing is we're looking at businesses, we're looking for products that generate immense amount of money. Not money, but immense amount.
I'm
of
gonna
money.
have to disagree with you. Me and Ryan are gonna have to disagree on you.
You think so?
Imagine
How do you know
a
I'm gonna
Simpson
disagree?
world
I
in
know.
Disneyland.
Wait, I think he had a little nod for a second.
Imagine the Simpsons world in Disneyland. Boom. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
they will
I'll pull it from
they,
Universal.
they
Whatever.
will revitalize
Oh,
that
yeah.
universe.
Yeah, Universal.
And they would revitalize the whole Simpsons.
They
See,
would,
I-
they would
I-
probably do the entire town
And
of
it-
Springfield.
Yeah, but
the
see,
whole town
but
of
see,
Springfield.
I think,
Dude, that's money.
yeah, but I'll agree with you
Mm.
there. But I don't think they'll continue the show. The show already has enough of them. I think they were like, we already have.
Yeah,
enough.
or they might reboot it or might do something else.
I think
but they're
rebooting
gonna-
if the
take it for
ratings
properties.
aren't, if the ratings haven't dropped immensely, which I don't think they have, I don't think they'll touch it.
No, they think they let it ride.
I don't think they'll touch
I
it.
want to see what'll happen.
I
I
don't
mean,
think they have reasons.
I mean, the big
Especially if
interest,
you make a world out of it.
right? I
They
mean,
haven't lost their time slot.
no.
So
Dude, yeah, for
what
real.
that-
Like for me, like the biggest thing that I find interesting is the fact that if Disney actually buys it, I'm not more interested in Simpsons as much. I'm more interested in what they're gonna do with
The Marvel?
X
You already
Men.
know they're taking it back.
they're not
X-Men.
going to do anything with it. They're going to just
Do you think they'll incorporate X Men into the Marvel universe?
yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. But
Yeah,
I don't
they're
think they're
gonna
going to
reboot
try to.
everything.
A lot of people are concerned that they might try to censor them and not have our stuff.
But that's the thing
what they'll
that I
have
have.
Fox for
Yeah,
that.
for that.
But see, do you think they're gonna reboot the X Men universe
and
or just
Netflix.
incorporate?
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, the completely.
Or Netflix, you
Uh,
say?
Well, Netflix has some. You know, they say Disney is so PG. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
Netflix is still Marvel. So
Yeah,
it's
because-
a little rough.
because the thing for me is that X Men, if you really look at the premise of it, it could be very dark.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
they're
why
not-
their best film was Logan because it was like the true grittiness of what the X-Men was originally in the comics. And if
Yeah.
anybody ever read like Wolverine number
Wolverine.
one,
Oh,
that is like a dark episode to start for a character in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. It's like the Marvel universe is very like
dark at times.
No.
Oh,
The
man,
cinematic
oh,
universe is like very light and happy about it. That was you this time. How dare you? No, but it's like very light and airy.
Yeah.
So I think the X Men in that kind of universe will be a little bit too. It'll be too out of place for me.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
but
You don't think so?
I think it'll be fine.
Nah, I don't know, man.
I mean,
I think they would.
Go ahead.
I think that it might be dark and everything, but like because of how the
RJ.
Marvel universe or how the X-Men universe in particular has like the Uncanny X-Men and yada yada yada, they can make a particular just Disney version for like the when the X-Men the cartoon came out on Fox.
Yeah.
They can make a
That
whole
was great.
Disney version of just that, and then keep all the dark movies on Fox and bring the
Do you
cartoon
think
part
it'll
to
be,
Disney.
so? You think they
could.
should they should do like a separate Marvel
They
universe?
could, and they could totally have it.
I would agree with
I
that.
think it can cross over if the story makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be dark. It just has to be a story that makes sense to bring
And that
them
makes
together.
money to them.
That's all.
That's really
They'll
all.
make money. It's just like Justice League. It could be terrible. I pray it's not. It's gonna make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's coming up.
So you think Disney's gonna buy DC?
No.
No,
Nah.
Marvel won't
No,
allow
no, because Warner Brothers is not giving that up.
that's the thing. I don't. There's no way that's gonna happen.
There had to be a lot of flops in order for them to like here take it.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't start with this one and continue on down.
But see, you know what's funny? There was this funny meme that they were like they were showing like how much Marvel's budget compared to how much it made, and it was considered a hit. And then Batman v Superman, the budget was right in the range, and it made more money than them. It's considered a flop. You know what I mean? Like the only reason
But they probably made more money.
Well,
Probably made more money on merchandise.
I mean, personally
Yeah.
speaking,
Like,
personally speaking, Batman v Superman is a flawed movie. You know what I mean? It's not the best movie.
divisive.
Yeah, it's
It was
very
made-
There should
divisive.
have been 2 movies in one.
Yes,
and then you
I
could
agree.
develop it better.
I agree.
And I don't know why they didn't. They had enough.
You know what?
to
They wanted to
develop
play,
with the 2 in one.
they wanted to play catch up. That's what it was. They wanted to play
do
catch up. It's
Welcome
like
to our universe.
But you can't rush certain things. Like that's why
that you
Marvel.
can't rush.
Everybody's like, oh, you can put out a movie like every year or 2 movies every year. Like, no, we'll take our time. We have our things like 2030 or 2029, whatever.
Right.
It's all planned out.
Right.
We're gonna take our time. We're not gonna rush this.
exactly, and
You know
I agree
why?
with you on that. It's like, listen, they really need to take their time. So I mean, the next big thing obviously is Justice League. Now let's see exactly how that goes. RJ, what's going on, buddy?
He's good. Okay, I'm gonna give him a think. You guys.
He's
keep
he's going for Binky time. RJ, our associate producer in the back, is crying. He doesn't like us. He just got the official title. Yeah. Oh man, dude, thank God we got these chairs today, man, because I am hurting. Like
we have these chairs every week.
I know, you know what? No, but I'm thankful, dude, because
Oh.
like I know nobody knows, but I injured my back yesterday, and I'm crying inside. What, the sex swing? You know.
sex.
That's what I do. You know what can I say? No, but my daughter body slammed me right in the small of my back last week, and it kind of aggravated it, and it just got worse. So yesterday I was crippled in the bed all day. So I'm here, drugged up, trying to do what I gotta do. You know, but yeah, I mean, I do agree. I personally think X-Men will be better off with its own universe, just rehashed a lot better than it was. You know what I mean?
So we just stay on the comic book for right now because we got.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So let's go to the show that I've been waiting
it.
for because whenever it was first announced, I thought it was gonna be an amazing show. They changed it.
Well, Krypton.
Krypton.
I didn't think it would be that great.
I thought it was. I honestly,
Original.
I loved it.
Only
Like the
because-
concept of Superman's grandfather and seeing how that world created, I was like, oh my god,
It's
yes.
cool, but if you think in series, that's 3 seasons tops.
You know what?
You can go into the father, him knocking up his grandmother, and then.
But then you gotta wait for him to grow up, and then
That's
gonna
fine.
be-
You
That's
know
what
what?
I'm saying, that's
I
a
always
recap.
go. I always go on the mentality of what's the network that's doing it.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, right. No. Like if it was like if they said Krypton was coming to like UPN or like
What's wrong with UPN?
UPN no longer does it.
I don't even know. Like
I don't have cable.
like or like one of those smaller ones. I'm like no.
Like
why?
CW?
Yeah, let's say CW.
Well,
Okay, let's say.
CW
But let's say it did.
They didn't get.
Usually
Right,
they
doing good on the
tomorrow.
comic
They
book.
got a
yeah.
decent budget.
Yeah.
No, but let's say it did, right? I wouldn't want Krypton to be on that. I'm happy it went to sci-fi because if you look at a lot of their outer space sci-fi stories,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica,
Dude,
if
they
you have
come
not
up.
seen
They've
it,
come up in years because when you think sci-fi, you think, oh, B-rate sci-fi movies. Yeah, I'll go watch those.
dude, look, have you?
They've come a long way.
I don't know if
props
you've
to
seen
them.
it. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the Battlestar Galactica remake that they did back in the early 2000s?
No.
The one with Edward
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, okay, I
I
actually have
remember
seen
it.
those
I watched it.
episodes.
Amazing.
They were good. No,
It
they
was
looked good, too.
amazing. Like the storyline was very, very well thought out. It was actually a very well thought out storyline. The character development was awesome. The plot was good, and the pacing for the whole series was actually pretty damn good. So if even they remotely go anywhere near that era, that kind of area for Krypton, I'm in. I'm in 100%. It's gonna be great.
Well, they're going even better because they announced. I see why they pulled the trailers originally.
But
And
okay,
then
so
they
before we
just-
go to where you put the trailers, from what
Oh.
you saw in the trailer, how did it look?
Hold on, what?
That's the heat coming on.
Oh, you didn't turn it off.
No, I'll turn it
Oh
on.
yeah, we all came.
You talk.
So when you saw the original trailer, I liked it visually.
No,
it was
I had no-
amazing.
I had no
It looked
problem
like
with the original
a
trailer.
well,
I was just
yeah,
curious about like
the story.
how long can they go for? Because I liked it. I'm like, if the grandfather hasn't even met the wife yet, I'm like, can you get people engaged to wait, knowing that they'll never see Superman?
Yeah, but because though,
But it's
because
Krypton, so nobody has power.
exactly, and then because that's perfect though because nobody has powers there. It can be like they're just like us. You know, you can see Superman or that family in the essence of humanity. Like
Yeah.
they are God. They're gods to us, but to each other, they're just
They're
us.
just people.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
think
us,
I
literally.
think what they're gonna try to end up doing is because everybody knows that Superman is like, a symbol of hope. What the world is striving to become and everything like that. I'm hoping that they actually try to put the House of L kind of with that kind of same moral,
Yeah, I
like
think
with that kind of moral directive,
Yeah.
and
I see
have
it.
the other houses be the protagonists against them. You get what I'm saying?
You kind of see it a little bit. If like this represents the House of L, like shit. That's not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but that's true. I mean, if you always look at it like how Superman is on Earth, he always has been the sign of hope, the example that the world needs to be, and stuff like that.
Did you see
What?
the Justice League clip where Bruce was talking about?
No,
Bruce is-
I've been trying to avoid as
Okay.
much as I possibly
Okay,
can.
All right, so I
It
won't
comes
talk
out
about
next week, right?
I mean, I'll watch it if you want me to.
19?
What's it say?
I mean, it's not a spoiler. He's talking to Alfred, and he's like, "Yo, world needs Superman." He's like, "Yeah, no matter." He's like, "I'm trying to put this team together, but he would have did a better job of it." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." He has Alfred's like, "All right, we're not talking about powers." He's like, "Yo, he had a job. He had a girlfriend. He was more human than me." Superman.
You know
So
what?
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's part of the Justice League movie. But go ahead.
my dream DC movie. I've told you this. I don't know if you've heard about this. There was a comic book called Kingdom Come. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
You mean I know what I'm talking
No,
about?
no, no.
Favorite.
It's called Kingdom Come.
With Donkey Kong.
No. Oh my God.
What?
It's an Elseworlds DC comic book.
My favorite.
And it takes place in the future
They
where
don't say how.
they don't say how far.
50
But
years.
basically, everybody's superheroes. they're older. Basically, they're either older, dead, or whatever, and their kids are now
The new
either
superheroes.
heroes or
But they're brats, basically.
It's
How is that different from like every rich kid?
Well,
whose parent was like
right.
celebrity
exactly
kid from the ground up?
exactly just like that
That's
because
what I'm saying.
they're not really saving people. They're like having
They're
play
reckless.
fights.
They don't understand the
They're
reasons
having play
why.
fights against each other.
And
Wrecking City, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, and one of my
Stop.
favorite scenes from that is because Superman is retired because it looks like Metropolis was
dislocated
going.
disc
No,
or something?
no. Metropolis was going for a new hero called Magog.
No,
Go.
he's correct me. bro.
Magog. No, the Joker was on a rampage.
Oh, yeah,
Older
yeah.
Joker was on a rampage, and this new hero found him first after he killed Lois and all these people in Lois and the Daily Planet. And the guy killed the new guy killed Joker, and he had like a trial. And they're like, "Oh, should he be arrested?"
That's right.
And the people was like, "No, he did what y'all should have did a long time ago." So
And,
it's
and with
like,
that, and with
y'all
that
need me no
happening,
more, I'm
yeah.
out.
And with that, Superman retired. Now, my favorite scene is that Superman basically gets forced out of retirement, but when he arrives, all the other heroes that were fighting, they all stop. They're like, "Yo,
He's like, "Oh, I heard about him."
yeah, it's him.
Yeah,
It's him.
beard,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's him. You know what I mean? And you know the scene in Batman v Superman where Superman is in Mexico and all the people literally just stop and just crowd around him. It was almost like that in the comic book. That
Well,
storyline.
portion of it.
Yeah, portion of it. That storyline,
Other people was like,
absolutely amazing. That needs to be a movie trilogy. Period. That one single-handedly.
Let's just see how they do with the
Oh,
Justice League.
it's,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's
Like
so out here.
sometime
You
in my
can't
lifetime.
start tacking like bricks of poo on top of each other because that house.
Oh, trust me, that's the funny
It'll be
part.
like the House of Cards.
See, that-
It's gonna do there. It's
Oh,
gonna fall.
we're gonna go there. That's a great segue. Yeah, but that if when you get a chance, I think I have the.
"You have it. I need
Yeah,
I have
give
it.
it to me, bro.
You have to
Just
read. No,
present
seriously,
something.
you have to read it, and the artwork is amazing. It's all
Oh,
painted.
Alex Ross.
Alex
He
Ross?
does the entire thing.
He did the
does
entire comic book.
He
Nice.
writes
Every
it?
frame.
No,
Really?
No, he didn't write it.
That's
He-
tough.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like a 3 or 4 year project or something like that, wasn't
Yeah,
it? It was,
four.
That would make a good concept. But then
It's
going back to
40.
the thing though, now we're talking about to a world where everybody,
right. You know what? And I know you brought it up, so might as well segue into the end. Of
Wait, hold before we jump onto that.
Yeah, 'cause we-
What are your thoughts on how the new?
Yeah, because we didn't talk
The
about
new Krypton
We were
theory
about to
goes.
go there.
What I think about it, honestly, I'm excited about it. The fact that they are introducing Brainiac.
Yeah.
I'm in because
Brainiac that we haven't seen yet because supposedly he's
Well,
like
Brain-
pre.
that's the thing.
pre
Brainiac,
everything.
right? Brainiac hasn't been seen
We don't
outside
know.
of cartoons.
We don't know what origin they're going to.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like they,
Cartoon one, the real one.
right.
played.
See, it's always been Brainiac has always been in cartoons and comic books. That's it. He's never been in any movie, any TV show, nowhere. So for them to put him in this is like, all right, what are you gonna
It's
do?
a precursor for Man of Steel 2.
I agree, because
Because the
Man of Steel is
Krypton,
Brainiac.
the Krypton in Krypton is based off of the Man of Steel.
right, yeah.
Like they kept that same
Yeah.
organic element on purpose.
So yeah. So I mean, for me,
And I like that one personally.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
I loved it. I
You
lo- I
want
loved
to
it.
tell them what the storyline? We didn't get into
Oh
it.
yeah, tell them the storyline.
So
Did you see it?
I
No.
think-
Okay, tell
Well,
them
you're
the
talking
storyline.
about the trailer?
yeah.
For the
I
new
only
one.
saw because
So
I
basically,
didn't see the whole
because
thing.
all I know is Brainiac. That's all I know.
That's all I need to know.
So basically, instead of it being a show about Superman's grandfather and how it world on Krypton, basically it's kind of they did it kind of Terminator style,
Yeah.
where somebody fucked up the timeline.
Ooh, so somebody goes back in time?
Somebody does something where I don't know if it's like something where Superman doesn't exist anymore, and
Or
somebody
no.
fucked up the
So
timeline.
from what creators said, they're trying to make it instead of a show about the past, a show about the present. And
Yeah.
involving the present and the past colliding with each
At the
other.
same
So
time.
somebody goes
Oh.
in, they haven't announced who the villain is, like Lex Luthor or somebody like that, who goes back and
Right.
decides a way to stop Superman from existing is to stop his grandfather from ever,
Doing his thing.
doing his thing.
Yeah.
So in that time, though, other superheroes get wind of this and they
Yeah.
start traveling back in time to help
Adam
them
Strange,
out. Yeah,
Hawk Girl. They said those two are already there.
guaranteed to be in. So
Okay.
then it opens up the door for more people, and then it opens up the door for maybe a possibility of son and grandfather meeting they've never met before.
Yeah.
So it's like I got chills when I heard that that's a
Yeah.
possibility. They were like, oh,
I wouldn't mind
snap.
seeing that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
exactly.
seeing
So-
that. See, that's the thing. If they take enough concepts from the comic book and just translate it straight to like film, they'll have a shot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm excited about
Especially-
the show.
especially-
stories.
One of my favorite time travel Superman stories is I'm gonna forget it, Superman Reborn of the mid 2000s, where they retold the origin of Superman. It's like it's over 10 years old, so screw you guys, I'm spoiling.
No, I don't think I read it. I'm not
It's a
saying-
retelling of it.
I'm
So
not saying
so
it's
it tells the story, origin of Superman, whatever. Most of the stuff stayed the same, but the big difference is that Lex Luthor hated Superman from the beginning, but he actually managed to steal some of the Krypton technology and actually managed to create a wormhole with it to connect with Krypton before it exploded to try to steal their technology as much as he can. Superman tries to stop him. In the process of all that happening, the machine starts getting destroyed. By this time, Lex Luthor was already captured. Superman races to the portal and he shouts through something. On the other side was his parents. So as it shuts down, all they see is him. From their perspective, they see him, and all you hear him say is, "Mom, Dad, I made it." And then it closes. Parents are holding each other crying. Krypton blows up.
Damn.
Yo, that was crazy. So if we get some kind of flashback where you will see Superman, show some love to his grandparents, I'm in. That's dope.
Definitely.
That might be something.
That's something interesting. And if I
Here,
spoil
here,
that for
here
you, it's over
first.
10 years old, man. Seriously. I think 2004 or something like that. So yeah, come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great story. It really is. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it.
We'll talk about
That's the
Shazam.
thing,
Oh,
Spacey.
sorry, Shazam.
Oh, Shazam, might as well keep it DC.
Shazam. Yeah, well, we
Billy
just keep the
Batson.
comic
I
book
love
for
it.
now.
Billy Batson was casted.
Yeah, like last week they casted Shazam. This week they casted Billy Batson, which is Shazam's alter ego. It fits perfectly. I see it. I saw it immediately. I was like, yes. I hope they do a good job. That's the only thing.
So far, I'm liking what they're saying. Did you see the? Yeah, you talking about him?
I know.
Did
It's
you
my
see
turn. It's my turn. My watch goes off.
the possibility of villain casting?
No.
Mark Strong as Dr. Sylvana?
Get the hell out of here. Is that official?
Possibly. Like that's in the talks.
Mark Strong. Hold on a minute.
Mark Strong, he was the villain in the first Sherlock Holmes movies. He was Sinestro. In front of
Oh, okay, yeah.
everyone,
Okay.
everyone's
Yes.
like, he should have been Lex Luthor. Yeah,
Oh.
Okay. Actually, wow. I never thought of him as Lex Luthor. Yes.
he should have been Lex Luthor, honestly. But the fact that this guy is junior, they can kind of get away with him acting that
Yeah.
way because he's like my father.
We'll see. We'll see.
Semantics.
Oh my God, he would have been great.
Semantics for a fanboy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, even perfect Lex Luthor, but whatever.
Yeah. Dude, perfect Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Perfect Lex Luthor. How dare you
He
guys?
looks like a younger Gene Hackman, like from your
Yeah. Wow.
Actually, yeah, nailed it.
Gene Hackman was awesome.
I loved him
Yeah,
as
he
his
was.
Lex.
That's another one. His Gene Hackman Lex was great.
Yeah. But I'm saying he can actually look like a younger, more driven, like
Yeah.
Gene Hackman.
Wait, hold on. There's a picture of him with hair.
Gene Hackman with hair?
No, Mark Strong with hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that must be a flash.
Yeah. I'm in.
That looks good. So, one more DC piece of information is that Suicide Squad 2 might go against Black Adam.
What do you mean go against the fight?
Yeah, maybe they'll lose.
They're gonna epically lose. Not unless you depower Black Adam.
Yeah.
Like you-
I
The
don't
Rock,
see-
right? The Rock is
Yeah.
playing Black Adam?
But see, this is the thing. Black Adam basically has the same powers as Shazam.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you look at those powers compared to Suicide Squad, they're dead. They're like not even a little bit.
Well, that's
dead.
probably the thing. They might fight and lose to show how strong they are.
I think.
That would
Well,
be-
the other thing is that Suicide Squad is always meant to not is supposed to have a rotating crew.
roster. Yeah.
So it
they're
doesn't
gonna
necessarily
definitely
mean.
switch it out. This
Right.
will be an opportune time.
Besides, they killed Diablo.
We don't
Can't
know.
ever kill
We
Diablo.
don't know that.
We don't know that for sure.
I don't
If
know.
he doesn't come back, then he's dead. But
Yeah.
is he? It's common. When you see a body
Yeah, you
made of fire.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Fire guy.
If it
burnt up.
disappears into another portal, it ain't dead. You know?
Fire guy got
There's
fire
a-
guy burnt to death.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Come on.
weird.
Come on.
No, but I
Let's
think
think about it.
I think if they're gonna do Suicide Squad versus Black Adam, they're gonna have to change up the entire lineup of the Suicide Squad. There's no way around it. They
And-
can't have Harley Quinn.
Will Smith has to be careful because we all saw what happened when you go against The Rock. You know, Tyrese showed everybody, so you gotta be careful out there.
Didn't they squash
we'll
it?
start crying on the internet.
We
and,
talked last week about Tyrese.
Yeah, I hear the Jersey remix of that.
Oh,
There's a remix to that.
Yo,
Wait,
savage.
I'm pulling it up.
I was.
Yo, forward it to me. Forward it to me.
Yo,
Or
I'm
tag me.
playing right
Oh,
now.
I feel bad because he's talking about trying to get his daughter
Oh,
back.
it's terrible,
But it is hilarious.
No, they didn't, bro.
Oh my
Did they
god,
auto-tune
it's
it?
hilarious.
Oh my god.
Savage.
It's so terrible.
I was laughing my ass off when I heard that.
It's still funny.
Yeah,
But
it is
it's funny
funny.
only because
It's over now, right? Officially? Is it
Well,
officially over?
You know what? No, in the public eye,
the
it's
public
over.
eye. Oh, yeah, that's,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
another
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
perception
funny because
matters.
he did it to himself as far as bringing this type of attention to himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, why? You know, you could have went with this, dealt with this.
It's
on a private
literally
matter.
like, Tyrese, know your position in life, dude. You're not, like we said this last time. It's like, dude, you're like literally like a second-rate star in that list.
Yeah.
Like,
You say second.
you,
Ludacris might have top better billing. I'm just kidding.
you know what?
Definitely has more album
He has more of a
sales.
range.
And he has more album
What,
sales.
wait,
So
wait,
that's
yeah.
just-
Wait,
it's just gonna-
here, want me
That's
to blow your
class.
mind? Did you ever see the episode in
Cribs.
no, in Law and Order SVU where Ludacris is in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he did the thing.
And he go, did you
No.
never saw that?
No, he can act.
He could act.
He took it seriously.
And-
he
and-
didn't get in like, I mean, it's good. No,
Yeah, he really like in that
That's what's
episode. He literally took everybody to town where he actually got caught, but he ended up winning
Nice.
because he took everybody to court. Because it turns out like he was a product of like he was an unwanted baby, and he knew that his whole life. So his entire life he was planning revenge. So in revenge, they were like, we have you. We call right hand. He goes, who cares? I'm still pleading not guilty. I'm going to court. They're like, why? Because I'm gonna take all of y'all with me, and I'm gonna make you go on the stand, and I'm gonna make y'all say that you are my mother. Yo, the way he portrayed in that one, amazing.
Nice.
Don't sleep on Luda, man. Like Luda's good everywhere. That dude could rap. That dude could act. Tyrese,
Right. Can make remixes online. And
yeah, his remixes are awesome.
not even because he didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't even his official remix. I mean, that
But
it is what it
it's
is.
somewhat over because now he's getting help from Reverend Will Smith and Jada. So
That was allegedly false, but I saw. I knew
What?
that. I smelled. Yeah.
that wasn't real.
Yeah. I mean, they may have talked, but the whole money thing, I smelled BS when they said that in the first time. Like, they're not giving him money to get off the thing. No.
Yeah, I'm
They're
not-
gonna tell you to get off the thing, and if you don't get off, that's on you.
Well, my thing is this: it's like, listen, I don't know how good the friendship is, but like,
$5 million? No.
yeah, $5 million of a friendship. Like,
Well, I mean, if you're George Clooney, you just sold your company for like $1
Not-
billion.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I'm
like it's not like he needed it. It's just for him to stay off social media.
I thought
if
it's
words
because
don't work.
yeah, it's kind of like
one of the posts I read said that it was because he was so in depth in the legal fees and yada yada yada, and the child thing.
yeah, but see, the thing is,
Benny, he had his own Benny
Yeah, no.
on his property.
But right, yeah, I know he's really out there. See, the problem that I have with it is like, listen, if you are gonna try to go against somebody in the public eye, you better get ready to get public exposure. That's the
Yeah,
problem. And it looks like he almost completely forgot about that. It's like
The main part of public perception.
yeah, it's
Public.
like how did you forget?
And
How
the
did
social
you,
media age, like
yeah, it's like the moment you
Don't make social media make you remember that for sure.
yeah, it's like the moment you talk something, you know for a fact that people are gonna research it. They're gonna pull all the little dirt out of the woodwork, and they're gonna remind you.
Yup.
And he completely forgot about that process, and this is what ended up happening. So it's like, all right, dude, really, you need to calm the hell down. You need to know your position in life. And the fact that Will Smith supposedly gave him $5 million, I don't believe it, just because I don't think Will Smith and him are on that friendship level. I'm not gonna say that Will Smith wouldn't. I'm just saying that Will Smith, I don't see Will Smith giving it to him. You get what I'm like? Are they on that friendship level? Are they on a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck level? They're not. You get what I'm saying?
You mean they're not hiring each other's improprieties?
Exactly.
Like sexual harassment against women?
Yeah, that's a nutshell version of it. You know what I mean? I mean, no. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, are you guys really on that friendship level that you guys are gonna give him $5 million? Like if we
That's
was
just $5 million just to get off.
Yeah, what's
Not
$5 million
even to
amongst
help
friends,
feed.
bro?
Yeah.
No, nobody's giving you that.
Nobody's
They're
paying.
gonna tell you, and if you don't listen, that's on you.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I feel about that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
One last tidbit of DC news. We have. It's actually been rumored for a while, but the rumors seem to be building. Like the announcement is on its way.
Okay.
That Rocksteady has been working on a Superman game,
If-
a la Arkham style.
I'll be the first one to admit I didn't hear anything about it until I saw the show notes. If that's real, I'm in.
They've been talking about that for about maybe 2 years.
If that's real, I'm 100%
I'm
in.
like, because that's going to be so different. Because you can fly, you can shoot lasers. How are they going to incorporate that with a daily? That's
How are they gonna weaken him?
So
That's the thing. How they're gonna weaken him? He can't go up against regular baddies. Every single person's gonna have to be like a supervillain.
No, they don't have to weaken him. You know what they could do? They could play the actual Superman where you have to monitor your strength, or else you might cause more damage.
Oh, actually, that would work. Oh, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Oh, Superman's cardboard theory?
Yeah. Well,
Superman has a theory that he walks around, every day he feels like he's walking in a world made of cardboard.
Well, he said that. Was it the series finale of Justice League Unlimited?
Yes, when he went up against Darkseid.
Before he punched Darkseid.
He went up against Darkseid. He was like, you can take what I hit, right? This is one of those rare opportunities where I actually get to go all out. Like,
I mean, it looked awesome, but it did nothing.
No, it didn't.
But this is a resurrected with sorcery, sorcery.
Well, see, that's the other thing. The other thing is like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give him like a Mr. Mixel-Plick kind of situation where you depower him and he has to work his way back up?
I think the easiest way to do it is Lex Brainiac, and then minor villains mix. That's the easiest way to do it.
I mean, if they do it,
you can gateway other villains.
Well, see, the other thing is that Rocksteady has a great. Oh God, how do you even say this? Their open world design games are ridiculous. Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto.
Well,
like,
no.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Rockstar.
Oh, Rockstar.
Yeah.
Wait, Rocksteady? Who? Wait, hold on. Now you're
Rocksteady did
is
all
the Arkham stuff.
All the Arkham
Still,
stuff.
yeah, I stand by that statement. Like, wait a minute, yeah, they did all the Arkham stuff.
Yeah,
Like, Arkham City was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you ever played that one?
I played them all. I played all except Origins.
How the hell did I play Arkham City when, like, I never bought it. I bought it off of you for like a month.
Yeah. Oh, Arkham.
He was like, I'm done with it. I was like, let me borrow that.
Arkham.
Never gave it back.
I'll give it back.
No, I'm just kidding. Arkham Asylum was a lot smaller on scale, but it's still great. Arkham Asylum is huge.
Yeah, they made all Arkham Asylum exaggerated.
So
But see,
if they're gonna make him fly through the city, man, that's gonna be like.
that's the thing.
Computing that has to go into that like algorithm. Just,
Exactly.
What's holding them? They got the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X now.
you think those are good enough?
Yes.
No, you know what I think. You know what I think they're gonna have to end up doing. They're gonna have to not just keep them in Metropolis. I think it's gonna have to be a worldwide thing. No, think about it. No,
They can.
I don't know.
I think for the first game they may, I know they can.
You know what I'm talking about? Like go from
I
one
know
to
they
another.
can. I think for the first game they might just try to
Keep them in Metropolis.
Yeah, because right now that would be like server upon server.
There's been some amazing.
Because Dick this like
Grand Theft Auto 5 was huge.
speed wise, he can move, but still, like, all right, he hears something over here, he still got to go over there.
Yeah.
They can make that work.
Yeah, right. What was another one? What was the other one? I'm trying to think of the open world games. Red Dead Redemption is huge. Like the world is huge.
Yeah, Grand Theft 5 is
You know what I mean? So it's like Breath of the Wild, huge worlds. So they're really getting out there. Where it's like, all right, you guys are kind of really big. So they're getting there slowly but surely. Yeah, if they make it great, I'm in. I'm in for that. You know what I mean? They're still doing a lot of DLC with the Injustice 2 stuff. So they're supposed to be introducing 3 more characters.
Rocksteady's not behind that though.
No, I know that. But like that's the thing with DC. Like there's a lot of like little things that they're doing all over the place.
Cranking them out.
They really are cranking them out.
Every month there's a new character for
Yo,
Injustice 2.
supposedly they haven't. Actually, they did reveal. They revealed it last night. I
Well,
don't know. Look through like.
Static Shock and
Was it Static?
I think so.
Okay.
For the new characters.
Yeah.
Like every month they crank out a new character for Injustice 2. That's a great story, by the way. I watched that hour and a half.
Yeah. How awesome is it?
Cutscene. They just took all
Just
the
the cutscenes. Yeah, I saw that. Did you ever see that for what's that Pixar movie about the feelings and the girls?
Oh, I know.
Inside Out or something like that?
Yes, Inside Out. I think.
Have you ever seen what one person did? And he just took all the scenes that did not just involve the girl. It's a very impressive film.
Yeah.
If you just take the scenes that don't involve the inside part, or just the girl's life, it's depressing as fuck.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Inside Out, the Disney movie.
You know what?
There's a YouTube guy who literally took just the girl parts and made that into the film. Short film. It's very depressing.
You know what's crazy? Pixar in general, their cartoons are not for kids. Period.
You don't think so?
The content. It's
It's cartoons.
It's like real life content.
Yeah, but that's why they're so
Like,
that's why they're so good. Cause even you take your kid to see it, but you also might just see it on your own because you might just want to see the movie.
Like I tell people, Up has one of the most depressing intros, I think, in film
Most
history.
depressing intro ever.
In film history, dude. It's
Between
like,
that and Simba and
oh, bro, Simba's, oh, God. No,
But anyway, I mean that takes
but
longer
see,
to find out his
but,
father.
but
died,
see, that's the
still.
thing. The thing with me is like in Up. If you haven't seen Up, see the beginning. Up, you're like, oh, this little cute couple. Look at these little kids together.
Then
Oh,
it
they're
gets
so
dark.
cute. Then it gets dark, quick as hell. Like within 2 minutes, you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Next thing you know, you're crying. I'm like, yo, I didn't come to see a
Yeah.
cartoon like this.
This guy comes knocking on your door asking for money for candy and shit. Like, get out of here, kid.
Oh, you know what? I saw a great cosplay of that kid.
Oh yeah,
Did you see it?
this year, right? This
Yeah,
year?
it was
This
it was
year.
like this big Asian dude, and he dressed up as the kid from Up. He even had the balloons and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know?
I saw that from a Comic-Con this year. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
good.
If you haven't, you saw Up, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like I haven't seen Coco. Is that out yet?
They came
No.
out.
It came
They
out.
had to go back, right? They had to re-edit some things.
No, didn't it come out? Doesn't it come out this weekend?
It comes out soon.
I'm interested. Like
It comes out this weekend.
that's the thing about Pixar. It's like, dude,
They had to
any-
rework it. They had to
Yeah.
rework it a little bit.
Yeah, well, they better because this one is like he goes into the land of the dead. So it's like, all right, everybody in there is dead. And,
How do you dress that
yeah,
up?
yeah, like.
But they already had a practice run at that at the last film that they did that had kind of like a
Which
Mexican
one?
background about the guitar and the guitar playing and bringing them back from the dead and they're already dead.
I think you're talking about the Coco.
No, Coco's new. This one was a couple years ago actually. I'll look it up.
You look it up because that you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I'm here like.
And
okay.
that's why I said that they already kind of had a shot at something like that. So they're just exploring what they already started.
Ah.
Um,
Oh, RJ's back.
RJ's awake
He
now.
needs that binky, bro.
We got the
He needs that
bacon.
binky life. Our
Yeah.
associate producer doesn't like what we're saying right now.
Yeah, I get some. We're actually chopped out most of the stuff, so now it's just like a little bit of tech stuff, a little bit of pop culture stuff.
We got that. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
I guess Omar, what do you want to talk about? You want to
Book of Life, that's what I'm talking about. It's
Oh,
from
Book
of
2014.
Life.
Then, yeah, it talks about death and limb, and it has a very, it's based in Mexico too. It's the Book of Life where one of the guys is a bullfighter, the other guy's like a warrior, and he ends up dying and then has to like fight his way back to life to be with the girl he loves, something like that. So it almost has a lot of those notes in Coco's if you actually seen it. So it's not something like really too far off from what they've already explored into.
Actually, you know something I looked into? It's not a Pixar, it's 20th Century Fox. And this is why they did that. Guillermo del Toro was one of the producers.
Yeah.
Anything, if you.
Guillermo's a big Fox fan.
Dude, you know.
He's gonna be a big Disney fan soon.
Guillermo's a
because
big
they're gonna
dark
buy it.
guy. Like, he loves dark movies. Like,
Yeah.
if every movie he's done is dark as hell. Like, if you. Pan's Labyrinth, amazing movie.
Really?
You didn't like it?
I thought it was a great movie. I mean, I would show it to my kids, man.
Yeah. Damn, bro. You want to traumatize the hell out of your kids.
I just want them to know great art. That's what it is.
Damn, but you start them off. If you know what, for those who haven't seen it, just look up some pictures of Pan's
It's based on a
Labyrinth.
true story, by the way. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Dude,
Can you imagine?
dude, yo,
I'd
yo,
never
wait,
go
hold
visit
up.
Spain.
Yo,
It's like, fuck you
like,
guys.
what movie will you show your kids to traumatize them as quickly as possible? I think it'll be like The Grudge.
Traumatize them like you don't ever want them to talk to you again, or traumatize them as
nightmares every
you gotta
day.
pay for a therapist.
Yeah, pay for therapist. I think Grudge will do it.
Dude, no, you really want to fuck up your kids and have therapy and have them like on suicide watch. There's these old videotapes. I don't know if they convert them to
Which
DVDs
ones?
or CDs.
What, Faces of Death?
Faces of Death.
I knew he was gonna go to Faces
True
of Death.
story, based on true stories.
They're probably all on YouTube.
I don't know.
Probably.
Faces of Death, not YouTube. You'll probably find it like a live leak.
Yeah, something. Some Reddit fucking some site where
Watch
like,
people die.
Yeah.
You ever watch that?
Yeah, watch all of them.
Yeah.
They've gotten like
I'm
boring
subscribed.
towards the
Sorry.
end.
Like,
but-
dude, I'm no. There's a subreddit called Watch People Die, right? And it's literally about like new people dying. Like there was
Nude? People like naked?
new.
Oh.
Everything goes sexual with you.
So-
Yeah, we're talking about people dying. You're like naked people.
Because then it checks off two things off the list.
Dude, this is
porn
like
and-
yeah, like I watch gore. Very few things really get to me. There's some things that was like there was some things that I think there was like one video that was like, yeah, I'm not sleeping tonight. I think there was only one video that I saw. It was like a Mexican drug cartel. I'm gonna go really
Mexican.
dark. It was a Mexican drug cartel. Like they grabbed somebody. I guess they ratted on him or something, right? They chopped his hands off, They gave him all these drugs to keep him awake and alive, and then they literally peeled his face off, kept him alive.
Oh man, that sounds delicious.
It was savage. Like, see that.
Then they fed him to his wife and kids.
Yo, wait, hold on. I like to
Tamale.
point out the segue. We literally just went from Disney Pixar movies to like
that's
Faces
why
of
I
Death.
just came back.
You're like, what the?
For more on the story, Rod should never leave us alone on
Yo,
TV.
you're like, I just put a binky on my son. Like, what just happened?
All right, so now that we're actually talking about like sick things in today's century, we have a couple things to talk about
About the
there.
death of Kevin Spacey's career.
Is it? You think it's done? Do you people think it's done?
No.
I don't know, man.
Mel Gibson about to be in Daddy's Home too. Kevin Spacey probably about. I'm not saying he should, but that's just
I think-
the way of the business.
I think
This might be different.
it might be different.
Yeah.
The only reason why it might be different is because the momentum that this situation is going on with everybody.
It's like the collective is actually
The collective is in agreement.
unified
Yeah.
on
There you go. That's the way to
hate
say it.
and
The collective is in agreement. with
Because
this one.
usually stuff like that is swept under the
And
rug.
absolutely sucks because I mean, as an actor, Kevin Spacey is amazing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, really? Yeah, come on.
No, yeah, as an actor, he's amazing. But so here kind of goes my devil's advocate for the day
Go.
or for this next 10 minutes.
His impressions are better.
His impressions are good, but so we've come down
opportunity.
like totally just crucify Weinstein with appropriate response because the things that are still coming out about him deserve nothing
Yeah, it
less.
just seems like getting worse for him.
But when the same allegations were first said about about Kevin Spacey, everybody's like, you know what? Let's hold our tongue. Let's find out what's really gonna happen.
Well,
we don't want to judge,
Was these
jump
allegations
judgment.
as bad as his? I mean, they were still bad.
There's a couple pedo kind of references in there, which is pretty
Yeah,
bad. my
there's a
friend.
couple of deep ones.
Real deep
Like
14-year-olds,
the big one that
so
came
it's
out.
Just,
Like it started out with Anthony.
not saying
Rapp.
that Weinstein probably has an actual girl who's underage, but we haven't heard about it. We've just heard about Spacey being a pedo. Go ahead, Carlos.
Well, I mean, it started out with Anthony Rapp, and he's a big Broadway star. You know, he also
He's on a TV show.
He's on TV show, and he also did a lot of film. He did the musical for Friends and stuff like that. And for him to literally say, he's like, yo, he literally reached up to me drunk and literally just cupped the balls. Like, dude,
Packaging.
like that's
My
really
God. What?
like it has to be like. Remember how most people, I'm gonna say most people because he still got elected, when Donald Trump, the video of him saying grab him by the, remember that?
Yeah.
It's like that, like if anybody else heard that or saw that, Weinstein, Spacey, anything like that, exactly what Weinstein and Spacey is happening to him is what should have happened. So it's like, okay, now you see exactly what's going on with Kevin Spacey. You know what I mean?
So, but the thing I'm trying to play is the two sides of the sword that everybody's kind of jumping on. Because as much as I don't like Trump as a president or as an individual, he said that with no proof that he's ever done it.
Right.
And we know Trump is a big shit talker.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when the allegations came out for Ben Affleck, and you saw a video of him grabbing a girl by her butt cheeks,
Yo,
sitting on his
that
lap, he didn't get
crazy.
not even close to
That
the same
was
amount of attack that he deserved.
Yeah.
And Trump just talked about it, so he could have been bullshitting the whole time. We actually literally saw Ben Affleck
So
doing
here-
the thing
so here's-
that he was crucifying Trump for.
So here's a good question.
So why are we taking it easy on these guys? Because of
No,
Democrats?
no,
'Cause
no,
they're
no, no,
liberals?
no, no, no.
What's
Here's the question.
Not that I care, but
Well, no,
there's
no,
a
no.
reason. There's psychologically something going on with us. We're
But-
letting them okay,
but-
and then villainizing one guy, not the other guys.
Right. So I think in when it comes to a standard of where we could get this
Where
argument
it has
from.
no standard.
No, I think Kevin Spacey and Ben Affleck is the perfect example because they're pretty much on the star level. They're pretty much there. I would go a little bit more for Kevin Spacey, but they're movie stars. That's
Yeah.
all they are. That's all they ever were. You know what I mean? So let's put these two movie stars that pretty much the same damn thing. One of them's on videotape, and Kevin Spacey's up here getting destroyed. You get what I'm saying? Is it because he's Batman? I don't think so. You
Well,
get?
it could be Warner Brothers like doing some behind the scenes.
That's what I think it might be. I think it might be more politics behind the scenes than it is in the front.
Stories, like, I don't know.
Like I think.
So we cut him.
and I hate to
Batman,
say-
then go.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang him now because
Wait till we cut him and then go to town.
That's what I think. I think if nothing is happening in the public eye for Ben Affleck, I could put money that I think a lot of stuff behind the scenes, we might have just seen Affleck's last movie ever. You get what I'm saying? He might be blacklisted for all we know.
Maybe.
You get what I'm saying? It might have been just that situation.
his
But-
brother won an Oscar and he ain't get blacklisted.
Who?
Let's be honest, Casey.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, let's be honest. What are they? Because they are predominantly America's favorite brothers. You know, they're like, let's protect the image of or what is it? What really is the reason?
No, I think that now that it's in the public eye for both of them, right? I think now they know that they have to, you know, sever ties. No, sever ties. Just because they're severing ties with Spacey, but right now they have such they have, like, for them to out Ben Affleck right now in what might be their do or die kind of movie, they don't want to destroy that right now. $5 says they probably destroy it like by the beginning of the year, by the beginning of next year, just because they're like, let's make this money first, then let's kick them out.
Okay.
That's what I think they're doing, and I think that's the only thing that's why they're not doing it as much on Ben Affleck as personally I think they should.
I agree.
Okay.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Makes sense, yeah.
I think that's the only reason why. Which sucks because nothing changes the fact that
He did it.
and nothing changes the fact that the answer to that question literally is money.
Yeah. And then the other thing that really, we'll move off from this topic, but what actually makes me more upset is that you have these two individuals who have committed these, you know, atrocious acts against women, and
two big words.
you know, yes, he got like a 1200 on SAT, folks.
I got so low on my SAT. I took that shit 3 times. I still got under 1,000. I was looking at girls.
I was over 1,000.
But the whole Weinstein and Casey Affleck and the whole, like, what bothers me is that when the whole thing came out about Weinstein, you know, he came out, Brad came out,
just like,
he's
terrible.
But remember, back there was a previous report that him and Damon came out years ago trying to block another article of Weinstein, you know, and for them to say, oh, we never did that, I'm like, dude, you just got caught. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be naive enough to think that at one point he didn't invite you to a hotel room so you guys can bang on the same chick.
Right.
He should have been quiet in the whole wine thing.
He should have just like
said nothing.
I know nothing. You know, and I have more admiration for, and not too much more, but more admiration for Tarantino, because at least he knew, but he wanted to turn away because, you know, he didn't want to believe that it was true. And now that it is true, he's like heartbroken. You know, at least he, you know, fessed up. Not to say that, oh, I never heard anything. Like, I've worked in the industry for like not even a decade yet, but as a film guy instead of an actor. And I'm gonna tell you, I've heard rumors of Weinstein, and I'm not even close to that.
Yeah.
So
you know the funny thing with me, the craziest story that came out of that was, did you hear the Robert Rodriguez Rose McGowan story?
Oh yeah.
That was great.
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, Rose
I know
McGowan.
what Rose been doing.
Right. Well, she got blacklisted after the whole thing, right? So for years she was blacklisted. Yeah. She goes to a party with Robert Rodriguez, who I think is her boyfriend or a very close friend at the time, and he's like, "Yo, me and Tarantino, we're making this movie, like a Grindhouse film. You will be great at it. You know, how come you have an audition?" She goes, "I'm currently blacklisted because this is what happened." He goes, "What happened?" And she tells them the whole Weinstein situation. They're like, "No, screw that. I'm gonna write a character specifically for you." And Weinstein's gonna say yes. There's nothing you can do about it. Oh, there's Weinstein right now at the party. Yo, Weinstein, come over here. Yo, I'm casting her in your next film, dude. Yo, Weinstein flipped the hell out, turned around and left. Like, it was like one of those things. And Robert Rodriguez says, the moment I said that, the look on his face confirmed that everything she said was true.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So he kind of, so Rose McGowan ended up being in it was Grindhouse, wasn't it?
It was, I think it's the first movie.
Planet
Terror?
Planet Terror, yes. Thank you. So she ended up being on Planet Terror just as a big FU to Harvey Weinstein by Robert Rodriguez.
But actually, I prefer that one over the other one.
Death Proof?
Yeah.
Death Proof was cool, but
Planet Terror was dope.
I think it just went too, I think it was long for no reason.
It was a classic Grindhouse. It was such a classic B movie.
No, it was, but I just think the other one was just longer than it should have been.
Death Proof.
Yeah.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Even though the ending was dope. The car crash, like, the wheelie on her face. Okay.
Like,
anyway.
People over, huh?
Right, so what's next on this topic train? Topic train?
Where are we? You looking? No, I'm just
No, but it's loud.
No.
You're like, but it's loud.
Where we go? You want to talk tech stuff, or you want to go to?
Well, what we got on here? We got text,
shooting. You got shooting, elections.
Spaceys.
All right, so let's end all the negative stuff. Then we can talk to all the cool stuff. So we're gonna talk about the shooting in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna touch on. Everybody by now knows what happened.
It sucks.
It does suck, and everybody's gonna always argue no guns, more guns. In this case, it's kind of difficult to. It's gonna be contested very highly because the reason the guy stopped shooting was because somebody with another gun made him drop his weapon and then run to his car, and they chased him, and then he ended up taking his life after being shot. And the argument would be like, if the guy never stood out with his gun to shoot him, he would have probably, more than 99% likely, had killed everybody in the church. Because he had the ammunition, he had the guns for it. He would have probably killed everybody in the church. Had somebody else with a gun came, stepped in, and caused him to flee, and ultimately caused him to commit suicide because he was panicked that they were going to catch him and do whatever things to him.
On the other note,
The
military messed up.
The military did mess up immensely by not putting in his. So, for those who don't know, he was actually kicked out of the military for bad conduct discharge. Served 12 years in the brig, or 12 months in the brig, for beating his wife, pointing a gun at her, and cracking his stepson's head open with a pistol.
For the naysayers, the brig is the what?
It is basically federal prison for
military jail.
Military, yeah. So, because of the Luttenberg Act, what happens is if you serve in the military or any job where you're required to carry a gun and you are charged and found guilty of any kind of domestic violence, physical domestic violence, you are no longer allowed to carry such weapons, so you're no longer able to serve in the military, has a police officer, has a federal agent, yada, 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 the list goes on. What happens is your name gets funded into the federal registry, and anytime your name comes up for any job like that, any secret clearance or anything that has to do with weapons,
it should pop up immediately.
Are popped up, immediately rejected. And if you are on that list and you do try to get a gun, your name also goes to local authorities so they can come and ask you why you're trying to get a gun, knowing you're not supposed to have a gun.
Right.
That was something that's supposed to happen after he got court-martialed. The Air Force never submitted his name or never processed the information further up, so his name never got into the data bank. Which, if it would have happened, because the laws were in place, the system was in place, if everything would have happened like it should have, when he went to get the first gun, he would have gotten flagged.
Yeah, exactly.
And he would have prompted a visit from local authorities, like, why are you trying to get a gun?
Right.
Knowing you are not allowed to get a gun.
Right. See, and that's the thing.
That's what really messed everything up.
Yeah, like a lot of people are arguing, like, oh yeah, well, it was a bystander who had a gun that did it. I was like, yeah, technically the guy wasn't supposed to have a gun in the first place.
Yeah.
The laws were there.
The laws were there.
Everything was there perfectly to prevent him from getting a gun.
All the laws that people are saying that we need, we're already there.
But the due process.
But the process, there's always a failure. It's either going to be there's a break in the link.
There you go. That's exactly what it is.
Actually caused it. Not that the laws don't exist. The laws existed. For everybody who says you can get a gun in Texas, no, you can't. You still have to follow certain guidelines. And
for this particular case.
For this particular case.
For this particular case, there was stuff set in place so this shouldn't happen. But
Now,
like you said,
you know what's crazy? I think it came out yesterday that they actually have, like, because it was a church, so they were filming the service. Like, it's on film.
That's not from my own,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. It's like, it completely sucks. Prayers out to the family and all that. Does there need to be gun reform?
I mean,
That's such an argumentative.
I don't think at this point it has to do with reform. I think at this point it's that this is one of those. I don't want to say, one in a million chance, because this country is becoming almost like a norm to see shootings in the mass quantity. But the fact that this one happened was one in a million chance, because there was a system, there was balances and checks. Just one of the checks didn't get knocked out.
I think what did need to be done is that did you hear about the Democrats leaving the House when the Republicans requested a moment of silence for the people that died?
Yeah.
And the Democrats were like, we don't want a moment of silence. We want reform. We want us to actually do something about it. I personally think when it comes to like the gun laws and stuff like that, I personally believe that check and balance of the military reporting, that should be more streamlined.
It should be an automatic thing.
Exactly. I think there needs to be a law where it has to be some kind of automatic, there needs to be more regulation in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the problem, and this is the funny thing, and with society in general, everyone tries to fix the problem before the problem actually happens. Okay. Sometimes I personally feel it needs to be like more like a plane. The reason why I say that, right? A plane. Every time a plane, when aviation started at the very beginning, right? Something happened to the plane. They pulled the plane back. They rebuilt it and they figured out what went wrong. Then they figured out what went wrong and then they fixed that. they flew it up again. Like as technology passed, every time a plane crashed, they researched and found out what went wrong.
It's like how Doomsday was born.
Dude, like if you know, yeah, actually, pretty much. That's why aviation is one of the safest ways to fly, to travel, because every time a plane crashes, they don't just say, okay, let's just it happened and that's it. No, they find out what the problem is and they fix that problem. You know, plane engines. If the plane engine explodes inside the plane, there's actually parts of it that are meant to, even if it blows up, the engine will still stay together, because there's literally like all these barricades around the engine. Because if it blows up, there was a plane crash where the plane blew up and a part of the plane flew out, hit the actual fuselage, cracked the thing, and the plane cracked in half. If it didn't, the plane was going to be able to glide back down without a problem. You get what I'm saying? Every little thing is check and recheck. That's why they do all these things. The country really needs to start thinking like that kind of way. Something happened. In this case, it was that.
In this case, it was just that broken link.
It's just that one little broken link.
In other cases, it might be a little more difficult because it's like, every state laws, gun laws are different.
Yeah.
Right.
State, you got different occurrences, different situations.
Exactly.
There's different situations.
A lot of people throw in mental health. I'm not sure if that's the case all the time.
Well, if you're cracking your 12-year-old or your stepson's head, there is a mental.
There's definitely a mental issue.
But I'm the conspiracy theorist that doesn't think this is all random.
No, I mean, it always seems to happen when like something big against the government is coming.
It's too much of a weird pattern that every time this happens, I'm like, no.
Or every time something against Trump big comes up.
This is too blatant.
That's true.
You know what? Going into politics again, the Republicans are not demanding Mueller to be fired. Did you hear about that? They brought that up to the House.
Look,
like it's like, dude,
they can bring it up to the House as much as everything that they want. They know very damn well that if that happened, remember, Democrats have won a lot of the seats back.
Yep.
So when this comes back around next year,
it's on.
Guess what? They're losing it. So they better tread lightly, because they either have one thing: they try to save this corrupt president, or they try to save themselves.
Yeah.
I think at this point you should try to save yourself and your Republican Party.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
if you go on this note, it's not ending well for
Trump
you.
endorsed another governor,
and he lost.
That lost. That's the second time he supported somebody and lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you support me.
And that was the Virginia one. That was the LGBTQ.
Governor from Virginia. Yeah.
That was was that the
So
statesman?
the
The statesman from Virginia. That was the transgender representative.
The gubernatorial Gillespie was the one who was supported by Trump. He lost to a Democrat, and then in Virginia there was also another person who was supporter of Trump who put in the bill for no transgender bathrooms.
Right.
And he lost to transgender.
That was epic.
Candidate.
Yeah, because he was the representative. It's ironic because he was the representative who introduced the bill to ban transgender people in bathrooms of what they're assigned, is their assigned gender, and he kind of put that label in. I guess she got mad about it, and she was like, "Screw you! Like, I'm running and I'm taking your spot. Thanks."
Yeah,
you know, and then
exactly what she did. Which is crazy.
It is.
That was crazy. That was instant karma. Yeah. That was like, that also happened at a freeholder position in Atlantic County, down in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a guy put a meme up when they did the Million Woman March.
Yes, yeah.
A guy put a meme up. He was like, "Yo, will they have enough time to come back home to cook dinner?"
Yeah.
Or something like that.
He lost his seat to a female.
No, he lost his seat to a female who decided to run upon seeing that meme. She was like, "Yo, screw this guy. I'm taking his job." And she did.
She literally took his job, and now I don't know what he's going to be doing.
Now he's at home cooking.
Yeah.
Guess he'll have all the time in the world.
This is like this past election has been the election of karma. Like this, what happened now is like, all you guys are dumb. We're taking y'all spots.
I mean, and they're all lower level, but everything is. As you see, everything's gonna push up.
Yeah. And the other thing, and the other article that I read lately is that they've noticed that coincidentally, a lot of Republicans are retiring this year. They're like, I quit. And
a lot of them are retiring because of the struggle they're having with the administration, not because just. A lot of these people are retiring because look, if this is what the administration has become, this is what the presidency, the image of the presidency has become. Wow.
And they even stated it like this past week. This past week, 7 days, 3 Republicans announced their retirement.
Yeah.
Now, this entire year, 3 Democrats announced their retirement. Think about that. That's a lot. And over the course of this year, they have a list. There's a lot of Republicans that are like, yo, I'm done. I'm retired.
And a lot of them are just losing to the independents, or they're losing. The independents are siding against them just because of where they see everything that's going.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really like, guys, this is the thing. The world changes. The world changes all the time.
It's actually changing literally before our eyes.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that if anybody thinks that they're gonna be able to keep their world the way it quote unquote was, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? The world is always constantly changing. There's nothing we could do about that. We are not walking around in horse and carriages for a reason. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
it costs so much to feed.
Damn right. They're expensive as hell and they smell.
Thanks.
Yes. So, but the point is, like, listen, there's all these laws that they try to keep, they're trying to keep them around, but they can't do it. Change is happening. Matter of fact, New Jersey got a new governor right now who one of his big selling points is like, yo, I'm legalizing weed.
We going weed heavy.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, like just 10 years ago.
I just wanted to break down property taxes. That's all I asked for.
That's what a lot of people are asking for.
The weed legalization could lead to that.
I hope so.
But we get so much money. Property tax going down.
We could do an Oprah house for you, a house for you.
Yeah.
That's for everybody. Let's hope. But yeah, man. I mean, that's.
Not that I partake as often as I like to. Hopefully they get some good stuff. Man, it's like Jersey's garbage.
But here's the more important thing. If we do legalize it, you think more people from New York will cross the borders to buy it?
Yes.
Hell
yes.
You think there'll be more bed and breakfasts built that just predominantly cater to weed?
Yes.
You got the whole.
You think we should get into that market before it blows up?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, all I'm saying,
cryptocurrency, all that.
Look, all I'm saying.
Cryptocurrency scares me because did you just hear about the servers that went down, and like they have like $12 billion in crypto that just they can't access anymore?
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so it's like anything that's not tangible will eventually fail.
Yeah.
So
have some sort of change.
That's why I'm even scared that we use the U.S. dollar because the U.S. dollar really has nothing behind it other than the Treasury, which doesn't use gold or any kind of physical standard like gold or silver standard.
There's this kid in I read this article on him. He's like 15 or 16 now. He invested in with his allowance money or something. He invested
in gold,
in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like maybe about $100, right? This guy's a multimillionaire.
But that's the thing though.
It's
the
like,
cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin. When that system, somebody literally locked it up and they can't find a way to.
They don't even know who the creator of Bitcoin is.
Exactly.
No.
So like these are the things that scare me. Like I would never put an ounce of dollar into it because there's no tangible to it. So if one swipe of a keystroke can take out servers that hold all my information and how much money I actually have.
Yeah.
That's
a scary thing. I need tangible.
I mean, I'm
exist
sure there's a form of redundancy everywhere, but
as we all seen from the Blade Runner 2049 movie, redundancy can be erased.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like, you know what? This is the thing. When it comes to like technology and everything like that, yes, there's a lot of online data that has your information, and everyone always wants to talk about. They could take my data. What happens, like you said, what happens if something and I lose all my data, I lose all my money? You have an extremely valid point when it comes to that. It's like what are the fail safes that Bitcoin and crypto, like what do they have?
Zero.
That's the problem.
At least not yet.
So exactly. Right now the internet is still in the middle of its wild west phase. You know what I mean? It's been 20 years, but it's still. Well, yeah, because now the advertisers. Now the advertisers are coming in. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I mean, they gotta make. I mean, honestly, they gotta make money somehow. You know, it's either they charge every American who uses the internet a yearly fee, and no more ads, or they give it to us for free and we pay the ads. You know, so.
I'll take the ads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the ads. Some of the ads have actually helped out, like Groupons. I'm like, I'll check that out.
You know what's funny? I actually bought my C stands in the studio through those ads.
Really?
Because if you go, if you go to B&H directly, right? They're like $140 or something, $160 or something.
Guaranteed.
Right? Yeah, something. I was like searching for it, and I was like, I'll go back to it later. An ad popped up on my thing, and it was like, yo, $105 shipped. I'm like, and it was the exact same one. I'm like. Click. Holy crap! Yes, boom. It was like one of those.
I have a friend who buys dildos on Groupon. Shout out to you. Keep it dream alive.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, show him some love.
Yeah, I say.
What's
it? You know what? Do you guys watch it, listen to a lot of podcasts or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I listen to it.
What's your favorite ones?
He said I listen to ours
Ours.
all
No,
the time.
besides ours.
I listen to Improper Etiquette, which is actually kind of like their.
Send me that one.
I'll send it to you.
Improper Etiquette.
Improper Etiquette, which is Laura Stiles from the morning show.
Oh my gosh, she has a show?
Yeah. He's so stupid. So that, Joe Buttons, of course.
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs, I fell behind and we get back on. I used to listen to Combat Jack, but he just got hit with stage 4. Man. So shout out to Combat Jack. I used to listen to Juan Epstein, but they quit.
It's always one or the other.
Well, they got busy, so Rosenberg.
Can't be mad at that.
Rosenberg's everywhere. He works with
I watch-
WWE, ESPN now.
Oh, which ones do you watch? I really have to.
Actually, I have them up right now. So I still listen to Gary, not Gary Vee, not as much as I should, but I listen to Gary Vee.
Does he actually have legit podcasts? Because I see he has 14 minutes, 7 minutes.
He has a legit podcast that he does when he does his speaking tours. When he's speaking to the audience, some of them are like 2 hours or an hour and a half.
It's called
long.
the Gary Vee podcast.
Gary Vee audio experience. And at the same time, he has the interviews because he does he has interview episodes where you can hear exactly the whole interviews. I listen to that. I listen to the Austin Film Festival on the story. They talk about filmmaking and stories, and they bring in directors and photographers and talk about that.
Oh, dude, send me that one.
Yeah. Also, John Austin's script notes. He talks about script writing and stuff like that. I listen to 2 more on the page, which is with Pilar Alexandro. She tells you how she brings in interviews and talks about screenwriting, how to tell stories, how to tell better stories.
You're on your own on that
I
one.
didn't
bro.
know No Film School had a podcast.
Oh yeah, No Film School
I didn't know
podcast.
that.
I check that out all the time.
They're a
And
great site. No
the business is really a podcast that talks about everything that's going on in Hollywood, from the unions to strikes to allegations. They cover everything. And then one of my favorite is Mark Moran. He has a What the Fuck.
That's the guy from Blow, right?
Yes.
Wait.
His is WTF, and his is he brings on the most random people. He brings
Really?
actors, musicians, comedians, and they're sometimes they're an hour, sometimes they're 45 minutes, and they talk about everything. Like you'll learn
Complete
about
randomness.
yes, and it's great randomness.
Yo, all that and you're having.
The father from the American Pie series.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Forgot his name. Eugene Levy.
Yes.
He talked about how he started in Canada, how him and John Candy came out there.
CTV.
Yeah, exactly. And and he broke it. They talked for about an hour and a half. Great podcast, and it's just one of those podcasts. It's a podcast about nothing, where people talk about their lives about nothing. It's a great podcast. So I listened to a couple. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, all that and you didn't mention your friends, Proverbial Paradigm.
Yeah.
I just started. This is on episode 3. So
They're on
yeah,
episode
okay,
3.
shout 'em out, show 'em some
I have more
But I don't
podcasts,
think they're on
but since I
podcasts.
switch phones so
Go ahead.
often, I don't.
Oh, you're all over the place.
yeah.
They're not all downloaded on every phone.
I listen to Gary Vee. I listen to this one called Always Open, with Barbara Dunkelman and Rooster Teeth.
Oh, the guys, yeah, I love
I
those.
love
How do you know they have a podcast?
Dude, they have like 400 of them.
Really?
Yeah, like right now, I'm already caught up, but what I've been doing is catching up to the old stuff, and it's hilarious. Because a lot of it, because they were originally gamers, they were achievement hunters, Red vs. Blue and stuff like that. And so a lot of their old stuff is them all just talking video games, and it's hilarious, them talking about like, yo, did you play that? I can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 5. Like the trailer looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, whoa, dude, that was that long ago. You know, I listened to that one. There's also this one by a friend of mine, Sarah Vega, called Dike, which is like just a very social media, just life experience kind of podcast. Very cool. And yeah, that's pretty much the big 4 I watch. But I'm always looking for more because I go through them like that. Drink Champs, obviously. You know what I mean? Like I listen to them. So any of the other ones I'm always in. And yeah, like Proverbial Paradigm, I actually listened to them, and I like it. Like the vibe is there. I dig it. You know what I mean? So just FYI.
Yep.
You know, I think that's pretty much it.
Is it?
Oh, I know. We gotta talk about the JBL speakers, Mister. You had a chance to review.
Oh, yeah.
What you think?
Oh,
What's
we
your
got
opinion?
camera and then the pixel stuff. So
Yeah.
Camera. Yeah.
Let's start with the JBLs.
All right,
JBL
so
Link 20
JBL. So this is actually my first time dealing with JBL period for anything, which is pretty interesting. Just emailed it like, okay, yeah, cool, sent it over. So spent about a few weeks with it, 2 weeks actually. So what it is, it's a new series of speakers. 2 of them are Bluetooth, and the third one is wired. So they're pretty much just speakers ranging in size, audio, battery life, all powered by Google Assistant.
Okay.
So think of like a UE Mega Boom or UE Boom, like a speaker I had at the cookout that
Yeah.
was sitting out in the rain.
Yeah, that
all
was
day.
dope.
So think of that with Google Assistant.
Okay.
So it can replace your Google Home. It can't do everything yet. Like it can't make phone calls, but I imagine it's coming.
Right,
Different
probably
stuff.
on an update or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the other things you can
But do you
still
dig
do,
it?
smart home, all that stuff.
Cool.
It sounds good. I have the 20. There's a 10 and the 30. So the 10 is like 5-hour battery life.
Which one did you have?
I have the 20. The
Okay.
20 has 10-hour battery life. Has the auto shut off. Actually, gives you a little bit more than 10 hours. Because I think I may have charged it once.
So what you think of it? Like
it's
honestly, the sound quality wise.
Sound quality is really good. It's $200. It's like the home. You remember the audio quality of Google Home?
Yes.
It wasn't that bad.
No.
That was 360 bad. So the Link is a little bit better. I think it would be like massively better if it was 360-degree speaker. I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
But it's
so
still
it's the kind of speaker that they expect you to like put it somewhere in your home and keep it there.
No, because you could take it anywhere. I could have brought
See,
it here
there you go.
because it's a 10-hour battery life. It's IPX7 or IP7X or one or two waterproof.
Oh, really?
So you could do some drops and all that. So
Oh,
yeah.
so that's the kind of that you could probably
it's
even take to
portable.
like
Yeah, go
beach
You
or
get by the
something.
pool and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pool
water
water.
on it, you'll be fine.
It's
That sounds
portable,
cool.
Straight.
Hmm.
You could do
See?
hands-free, or you just be like, okay, Google, do this, boom.
There you go. Okay,
Pretty
yeah,
good.
JBL.
200 bucks, check it out. It's not bass heavy, but it's still a good sound. Big
J-
sound.
J- JBL, thank you. He appreciates it. Definitely, the review is
Reviews up.
more in depth. I think you already released it, didn't you?
Yeah, review went up.
Yeah, review's up.
this
So
week. I'm
take a look
working
at it.
on Call of Duty right now.
Oh,
And-
World War II? That's gonna be dope. So
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about that next week.
I want to play that one. I want to play the Star Wars one.
So I'm still playing.
Battlefront 2?
Is that the new one?
Battlefront, yeah.
Yeah,
Has anybody
it
played
takes place. No, it takes place after the end of Return of the Jedi.
I just saw the visuals and I was like, that's my next thing.
Dude, the storyline is immediately after the death of Emperor Palpatine.
Nice.
So the Empire
Fills in that huge-
feels in like, yo, our Empire is dead. What next? And they're like, revenge. Like that's what the whole storyline's about. I'm like, yes, okay.
You play as a Sith, right?
You play as a Sith. I think as a Sith. So it's like, okay.
It looks
The last
good.
Battlefront
It looks really
with Vader chasing you. Did you see some of that?
Yeah.
Dude, that was
Crazy.
That,
Dude, it just it, looks,
That was
it
the
almost
original
looks,
Rogue One.
Some parts of the game look better than some parts of the movie.
yes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they need to start.
Don't sleep on
incorporating
games,
this
man. Don't sleep on games. Yeah, Battlefront 2, I'm definitely excited about that one. The big game that just came out this week was actually Mario Odyssey.
shit. Yeah.
I just started watching the Let's Plays.
Came out last week. They
Yeah.
said it's amazing.
Dude, the Let's
That-
Plays is nuts.
That's the reason that I would get a Switch. Link is cool, but I'm not buying a Switch for Link.
I'll buy a Switch for Link.
I'm buying a Switch for Mario.
Dude, have you seen it? It looks.
No, I've seen it.
What's the best way to say it?
Already beat it.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been watching the Let's Plays. The graphics are absolutely amazing. There's like over 500 or 700 moons or something like that you
Yeah,
gotta collect this
it's-
time. It's
it's
insane.
it's
Like you know,
fun.
like Mario 64 was like 100 stars.
Yeah.
Well, now you gotta collect moons and like this like hundreds of them.
Like you could just beat the game, but if you want to beat it 100%, you gotta put in some work.
Yeah, it's not easy. They definitely did not make it easy.
Yeah.
So the graphics look amazing. I'm like that.
Yeah,
That's.
they-
There's a couple of things though coming out. Like there's
Doom. There's I don't know if it's
Doom?
ported. Is it
Doom?
ported or
Yeah.
is it official?
no, it's official.
Okay, because people
there's-
are already playing it.
yeah.
It looks great.
Doom?
Just don't put it on the big screen.
Skyrim, Metroid 4. They actually have some
It's coming.
videos.
They-
That looks good.
They just
dude.
announced today. I just saw it while we were earlier today or yesterday. If you listen to this live, Hulu. Hulu's on the Switch now. I'm like, what's
Yo,
Netflix
I'm
on?
telling you,
Stop
yo.
shop, bro.
Yo,
Stop
yeah,
shop.
Nintendo's on the way
Everybody's
out, man.
coming after the Apple TV market, and easily they're losing it.
I think Apple TV is gonna lose their spot because they're trying to go.
I think they already lost this spot, but that's just me.
But see,
True,
this
but
is
I
the
think
thing.
they're trying to go. They're trying to focus on original content, and it's either taking too long or what they have is bad.
Well, look,
So that plan of the apps looks like.
That didn't do too
No,
well.
but see, this is the thing. Look, if you look at the Nintendo Switch is obviously making their home entertainment system that you could take away from home.
Yeah.
But their home capabilities, the fact that they're adding in Hulu and all their games have always been family oriented, they're starting to walk away from that with like Doom and stuff like that. But the fact that they have tons of family oriented games, dude, it's meant to be played around that. You know what I mean?
But the
So
rival of Doom is an interesting one as well because they usually don't
Nope.
carry that. They don't call it. They don't. I think the Wii U may have been the first to carry like
Dude,
the
you know
Call
what?
of
Else,
Duty.
you know what else is going to come into Switch? Wolfenstein 2.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's like all the it's the third party games are coming to the Switch, and I'm like,
Oh, with that ID?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
ID.
why it's like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's all ID makes.
Yeah, but see that's the thing. It's like they're third party developers are paying attention now. They didn't pay attention during the Wii U. They didn't pay attention during the Wii.
Yeah.
Now they're paying attention at the Switch, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
because Wii U and Wii were kind of like gimmicky.
yeah, they
And
were
then
very
So
good.
the
they
processing power wasn't there for them to put their games.
Even though
on there.
Twilight Princess was dope,
Yeah.
but still nowhere near
Yeah.
like what it has now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what the future of Switch has. It's definitely going to be making like some moves. So we'll see what happens. The other thing is the camera. Don't know nothing about
Actually,
it.
we're gonna jump on real quick because
What?
it's the update for the Pixel XL or XL2, so you can fix
Oh,
your
yeah.
screen issue.
Roderick doesn't have it. That's the update.
So you guys need to get it to us so we can review it and tell
Sorry,
you
I said that
if
out
it
loud?
makes sense.
No, I don't have it either. I mean,
Yo.
I need to.
Yeah,
It
we
needs a
gotta
patch,
get that
bro. Wait, but do you have the prototype or the actual production?
No,
production.
Then yeah, there's definitely a
Yeah, I
problem.
don't know why.
Yo, help
The
'em out.
last patch I got was September. I'm not,
Yeah, we have a problem here.
So this is an update. I look.
Google help
Yeah,
us
so
out.
apparently it came out, which have been out, so now it's just time to try it. But the big tech news in camera is Panasonic Lumix G9. It's their way to try to go after a photographer pro market, like the A9 series. The reason Lumix hasn't been that popular in that market is because they shoot on micro four thirds lenses.
Yep.
So you really don't get that full frame that you're gonna get from like an A9
Right.
or a 5D Mark IV or a 1DX.
How much they charging for a crop sensor again?
For their well, it's not even a crop. It's like a micro four
Well,
thirds. It's like 1,700 or something like that.
And that's what the problem is.
That's
That's
the problem.
see,
Is that market,
Oh, you're
they're okay to pay the $3,000 if you give them a full frame.
right. Right. See, like I don't mind paying $2,000, $3,000 for a full frame
Yeah.
body, but that's where the situation lies. It's like, dude, you're asking people to pay, professionals pay $1,700 for a micro four thirds. Seriously?
So I have to buy new lenses and it's not even full frame.
Yeah.
Like,
See, you know what? Talking about lenses, did you see that Sigma announced a new lens with the E mount, with the Sony mount,
Yeah.
yeah, that was that.
the
for
16
plus, right?
millimeter,
For the
the 16
yeah.
milli. Oh my God! I saw that. I was like, yep. Remember what I said? I was like, once the third
Yeah, I
party
mean-
lens manufacturers start
Yeah.
making,
And with that, I don't
Yeah,
even
there
have
you
to get the damn. I don't have to use their MC11 converter.
No.
Just
Yeah.
snipe it
yeah,
around.
it's crazy. So
So
exciting, very exciting stuff.
exciting time. So I don't know how well it's gonna do. It does do video. It does do
It's not gonna
4K.
do
It doesn't do 10-bit
I think
internal,
it's gonna go the
though,
way
so-
of the Sigma camera that came out.
Sigma camera
Exactly.
wasn't bad. The Samsung camera that was. They had.
Was
a
it the
lot of
Samsung? Which one was the one? Do you remember?
Samsung, the one that they had a lot of issues. It had great image, and they needed to do a lot of firmware issues. And
See-
right before they would drop the biggest firmware update to it, they closed it. Like
Yeah,
they
see-
literally closed that whole line and said, "Screw it."
And
And,
that's the
even though
thing.
we have the update in our hands, we're not going to release it. We're just going to close the line and call it a day.
That's the problem that I think they're gonna encounter too. It's like, listen, you're really trying to get people into that camera, and it's not gonna sell like that.
Especially if you kill all support for it after a
Yeah,
year.
I mean, you know, if you look at the business strategy that
was a bad business.
Sony did when they went with mirrorless, they said we're gonna go mirrorless. Here's a consumer friendly camera, $1,000, but they showed the capabilities, and people were like, "Yo, the capabilities are amazing."
Yeah.
Then they're like, "Okay, here's something even bigger. Look at this one." Then they released the A7. They were like, "Look at the A7. This is a professional quality body." Boom. Now the A7R. Boom. A7R2. Now they're like, "Holy crap!" They literally weaned the public into liking that. Then all of a sudden they released the A9, and now consumers are like, "I don't need that," but the professionals are like, "Yo!" That's how they to do it. These guys they're literally trying to be like Panasonic's like, "Guys, go professional now." Like,
Too
no,
late. Yeah, it's too
it
late.
doesn't work that
And
way.
you can't go. I mean, yeah, you can go professional off micro four thirds, but obviously you really can't. Though. I don't
And on the other note, Nikon actually closed a factory for their point and shoots in Japan, and kind of
Look,
I'm gonna end up going Sony in the next couple of years.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I hope
like,
they don't force you to do it. I hope you go and the fact that you're a Nikon guy, I hope you go willingly and not to the point where I have to go.
What's your camera? The Sony camera you have?
NEX7.
That
Right.
damn near made me want to change.
The best camera out there.
Yo,
Yeah.
like
6 years ago.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But
Look,
it works.
as a photographer in
Dude.
2011 when that camera came out, I was even like, wow, that's extremely
You can
impressive.
get the A51 brand new for like $300.
Yeah.
It's touchscreen for record.
Yeah,
You can
the
flip out the screen
That's
all
like
the
one
way.
of the ones for the screen.
That's the
actually
vlogging
flips
camera,
all the
Yeah,
way.
I mean, the only thing is that you can't put a mic input, but if you record your audio and sync it later, you should be fine.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like Sony's business plan was like, let's get the consumers to love us, and then the professionals will follow.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it. For Panasonic to do it the way they're doing it, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna want to buy it.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy it at all. I have no interest in it. I don't.
He's like, I don't know why you even talk about this. Why did you bring this up?
Because it was news, that's why.
Like you saw my news version of it, right? It's like you haven't done anything to impress me yet.
Yeah.
Like you can't expect me to drop $2,000 on a body with no known history of high quality.
So now that you bring that up, there's
Go.
been a lot of complaints lately on the new Sony RX0. Why? Because like every other Sony camera that's in a small body, overheating issues. But because this body,
Talking about the little R one.
because this body
That's
is an
right.
enclosed that can withstand a certain amount of drop, and even if you drop in the water, it won't completely get damaged to a certain amount. Because there's no vent, because of that, a 1-inch sensor on such a small body has caused that camera to literally not be able to record. And if it gets really high, it just completely turns itself off.
Didn't you- wait.
It does that.
Didn't you mention that?
No, I've mentioned that
That it was a
Sony.
little warm. Didn't you mention like when you were holding
Well,
it?
it was a little warm, but I mean, again, it was a trade show. It's been on all day.
Right, but-
I thought it was just. I didn't think that it had to do with the
As it
sensor
turns
issue.
out.
As it turns out, a lot of people who do have that camera who are using it for long, continuous recording, it gets hot. But that's always been an issue with Sony cameras. That
For their first gen.
not even for the first gen, up to the 6300, it would get heating issues. It would overheat and shut down, and they wouldn't turn back on until the sensor code up. They fixed it by doing a firmware up there that bumped up the limitation. Now it bumped up the sensor, like at what time the sensor would alert to, hey, it's too hot. But it didn't actually technically change that the sensor can take more heat. So I've always seen that as an issue, because if you're bumping up so this is the line, right? You can't go past the line too much or it's going to heat. If you move up the line but you don't improve on the actual sensor itself, are you eventually going to make that sensor crash and burn, literally, because
Right.
you're going past that
Of course.
safety line from
That's
before.
why they came out with the 6500.
And that's why they came out with the 6500. And
you
even
go.
even in the 6500, there's an option to turn off the sensor
Right.
when it overheats. Not necessarily meaning that the sensor can take more heat.
Right.
It just turns off the sensor warning that overheating. Again,
Good to know.
that's why I'm kind of iffy on certain of those small bodies.
Well-
They can do a lot, but they don't.
Yeah,
See,
but
this-
for what you do, yeah. That
Yeah,
was-
look,
for me, I'm
here's a
like,
perfect situation. Here's a perfect example as to when technology is meant to specific consumers.
Yeah.
As a photographer,
For you, that's okay.
exactly, that's not an issue for me because I'm not gonna have it constantly filming. But as a video guy,
Yeah.
that's a major issue.
Major
That's
issue.
something that you actually need to consider before buying.
For a
it's
vibe.
like,
I don't have that
you
issue.
know, Consideration.
But that's a perfect example for anybody who's actually thinking about it. It's a perfect example of what one camera body can have two different outlooks depending on who's using it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with overheating issues because I take pictures. I literally, like, the sensor just goes on and off. He has to have his sensor on all the time.
I mean,
Like
I
it's
know.
on right now.
I normally wouldn't keep it on a camera like that small, shooting for a
Anyway,
long
right,
time.
right.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it
You can't
has that
really-
tendency, I can't depend on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
It's a it's a dependency issue on
Yeah,
film.
like the FS5, which is what we record, is
That's
on,
a
and we
beast.
record on the lowest possible thing. I've
We
left
do.
that on there
Wait.
for like 5 hours on an interview once.
What's the setting on that?
This is the lowest possible. We're doing the 1080
1080?
HD, 1080, 60p.
But this thing goes up to what? So for
It
the
does
people who don't know.
4K. It does 4K up to 30.
Yeah, that's a really professional
36.
ass camera body.
Yeah, but I mean, but this one I can leave it on all day. And again, it's a bigger body. There's actually fans in there that are always cooling off the sensor if need be.
It's built for it.
But so it's built for that.
durability.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why on those cases I use this. But the fact that I can't,
Nah,
he's
I
sleeping.
think-
But the fact that the smaller cameras can't, I can't rely on them because if after I'm shooting. That's the only camera I have for the day, and it starts turning off because the sensor's getting
That's a
hot.
major
That's a
problem for
major
you to have.
problem
I agree.
for you.
I agree.
But for everybody else, I mean, if you're gonna do vlog or small YouTube videos, probably those cameras are more than perfect.
See, yeah, but like
perfect
in
for
vlogging,
you.
those are fine because like in vlogging, you would shoot in maybe 1 minute spurts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's fine.
Even if you like, do your 5-minute speech and call it a day, you turn it off. It gives the camera time to cool off.
Actually, yeah. And here's a good question. Anybody who watches this, like, what cameras do you guys use? Because I know there's a couple other vloggers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what cameras do you guys use to film yourselves? You know, just think about that. Post it down below, and I think we're gonna wrap it.
Yeah, we're done. 60 seconds today.
We're topicked out.
Ladies, gentlemen, I believe we are done.
Episode 12.
Yep. Next week, less drugs for me, and
More coffee for me.
there you go. That sounds like a plan,
I'll
guys.
just be here.
He'll just be around. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by the Tech Guy Some Guy podcast. My name is Carlos,
Rod.
Omar.
and that's pretty much it. Guys, I'll see y'all next week. Later.